Start this. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our class where we will have Vanessa teaching us how to make cilantro salmon skewers, arroz con fideo, and a loaded Greek chickpea chopped salad. Sounds like a very healthy dinner. And so with that, because I know you have a lot going on, Vanessa, I'll hand it over to you. And thank you for joining us today.
Alrighty, hi everyone. I am Vanessa. I'm going to be making, as Teresa just said, these delicious creamy cilantro salmon skewers. All of these, all three recipes are super simple, they're super easy and super fun, and I love to make them. So first off, we need to start preheating our oven to 400. If you are not doing that, go ahead and do that. And I love to prep everything, so and go and clean along the way. So it makes it a little bit easier for me to make my recipes a little simpler. All right, since we're doing this live, we're going to be working on all three recipes at the same time, but I'll be telling you what we're doing and what we'll be doing for each recipe. Alrighty, so I want to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite salads. It's the loaded Greek chickpea chopped salad. It's super easy, super simple. So I kind of want to start off by making the vinaigrette, and then we're going to make the marinade for our salmon. For our loaded Greek salad vinaigrette, we're going to need a little bowl and a little whisk. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Just going to pour that right in there. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And I'm going to use a tablespoon of honey. We're also going to add some garlic. If you guys are not really garlic fans, it's okay. You can not put it in there, and it's totally fine. It'll still come out really good and tasty. But I really love garlic, so I love adding just a tablespoon. Alrighty. Just going to pour my honey in there. This makes it just pop with a whole lot of flavor. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. It's just a pinch. You guys should try your vinaigrette while you're making it, and you adjust your seasoning. I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. And my tablespoon of garlic. My garlic is already minced. I didn't mince it. I actually bought a little glass jar of minced garlic because it makes it so much easier. And we're going to use a lot of garlic in these recipes, so this was a little more convenient. And I'm just going to grab my whisk and start mixing this. To add the Greek flavor, I'm gonna add some Mexican oregano. If you guys don't have Mexican oregano, it's totally fine. Just gonna use a little. So about a teaspoon is just fine. We don't need that much because we already got the garlic in there. So the flavors are just gonna, oof, I can't. All right, I'm gonna put this to the side, and we're gonna start doing our cilantro marinade for our salmon, because that needs to rest for about 30 minutes on inside of the oven. It'll only last 10 minutes, so we're perfect time. And I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this one. All right. We're gonna use, for this recipe, we're gonna be using 4 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. It adds this certain tanginess to it, and it just makes it amazing. You guys have no idea. And if you're doing this right now with me, you're not gonna be disappointed at all. All right, so my 4 tablespoons of Greek yogurt are already in my bowl. And I'm gonna add my garlic. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of garlic. Again, if you're not a big garlic fan, you can just add maybe 2. And for our seasoning, we're adding some shallots, 1 minced shallot. We're adding 2 teaspoons of chili powder. You can substitute this with maybe chipotle powder. You can even use chile de árbol powder if you want it a little more spicy. We're gonna use 2 teaspoons of cumin, and I bought fresh dill and minced it right now. It does make the difference. So I highly recommend that you guys buy fresh dill. And we're gonna add just a pinch of cilantro, and I'm just gonna pour everything in here. This smells delicious, and I haven't even mixed it yet. All right. Okay, so we're just gonna mix this all together. You guys can blend, or you can just mix it with a spoon. I really prefer to just mix it with the spoon because I love the little pieces of garlic when they're roasted. They taste amazing. All right, so we have our marinade here. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm gonna season with a little salt and pepper. All right, I love how the dill smells. It smells amazing. A little pinch of salt. We're gonna add a little pinch of pepper. All righty, and we are gonna mix again. And for this part, it's really easy, it's super simple. I'm gonna use this zip top bag just so that my salmon gets completely covered with our marinade. So I wanna show you the salmon that I bought. You can buy the whole fillet. I bought it in pieces, in small pieces. I do leave the skin on. Why? You'll see why in a second. I'll explain why. And it all depends on your oven. So some ovens are a little stronger, or heat is a little stronger than others. So it will take maybe a little less. But I recommend you cut your salmon into 1-inch pieces, 1-inch cubes. Why? So that they don't dry out. So nobody really likes dry salmon. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it's not good to the taste. It's not nice at all. This only lasts inside of the oven for about 10 minutes, 5 on each side. And that's just the perfect amount. If you leave it a little more, it won't come out juicy, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna chop up my salmon into 1-inch pieces. And if you didn't do this already, I did do it, but I'll show you how I do it. I cut a couple of lemon wedges and for my salmon skewers. If you guys don't have lemon wedges, it's totally fine. With just a little lemon juice, it'll make the difference. All right. It's gonna be amazing. Okay. So this is the perfect size for our salmon skewers. They are 1 inch big all the way. Our skin is still on. I'm gonna go ahead and put my marinade inside of a zip top bag and my salmon squares in here. We're gonna don't use all of your marinade. I'm gonna use maybe 4 to 5 tablespoons. And whatever is left of our marinade, we're gonna use it for after it comes out of the oven. We're just gonna spread it, and it's amazing. It'll make it super creamy and delicious. Just gonna move this to the side. Just make sure that all of our salmon is covered with your marinade.
So Vanessa, if you had time, would you like do this and leave it overnight or leave it?
Yes. So if we were to be doing this maybe for next, for a dinner, for a late dinner, or maybe for tomorrow for lunch, this would even taste so much better. It doesn't really change the flavor, just the depth of the marinade is amazing. So last time I did this, we did it actually on the grill, and we did leave it overnight inside of the fridge, obviously. And the taste after was just incredible. So yes, if you guys have time, totally leave it inside of your fridge overnight and it'll make a huge difference. All right, so we have this ready. Just gonna go ahead and put it inside of my fridge for 30 minutes while we do the rest. All right, so now that we have that done, I'm gonna go ahead and flip my board because we don't want to cross-contaminate anything. All right. And we're gonna start making our arroz con fideo, which is super easy, it's super simple. You just need to follow the steps. So if you follow the steps, it'll be perfect. It'll be the perfect arroz con fideo that you've ever tried to make at home by yourself. If you have never done rice, it's super easy, and there are really great tips into how to make rice. All right, so we have our pan right here. And I'm using this one. I'm not using a pot because we want to cook our fideo first. So we want to kind of get to a point where it's golden brown, and then we're going to add our rice and we're going to cook it a little also. So one of my tips for rice, I like to rinse my rice. Why? Because then it won't stick together. So we're going to get all of our starch off of our rice. Alrighty. And in this recipe, I told you guys that we were going to be using chicken broth. If you guys don't have chicken broth, it's totally fine. You can just use salted water. I really like the flavor that the chicken broth gives to our rice. It's going to be more complete, a little more full of flavor. So I would recommend using chicken broth, or even if you don't like chicken broth, you can use vegetable broth. With beef broth, it's amazing. So I turned my large saucepan on, and I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. If you don't want to use olive oil, it's completely fine. You can use just regular canola oil or any neutral oil. So I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of my olive oil. And my heat is medium to high heat. So you kind of just want to maybe cook our fideo first. So once my oil starts to heat up, I'll just throw these in there. So this recipe I love because it's super fresh and super refreshing, and it's really healthy. And you feel like you ate, even if you eat a lot, you won't feel bloated. You'll feel amazing. So this helps my gut health a lot. I love it. So this is one of the main reasons why I decided to do this, was because I'm trying to get back on the horse, on the healthy horse, because I have been a little off of that. So I'm trying to kind of like get back to it. I think I'm doing a good job. So now that we have our oil in our pan, just gonna go ahead and mix it everywhere. All right, I'm gonna add my fideo, and we're just gonna cook it for a couple of minutes until it's golden, not brown. We don't want to fully cook it. We just want it to turn a little golden color. This totally makes a difference. So don't skip these steps. It's super important that you cook your fideo first and your rice. These are super important steps to get the consistency and texture that we want in our arroz con fideo. My mom used to make this for me when I was little, and I loved it because it has a little crunch to it, and it's really good. So it's not just regular rice. I'm gonna leave this here cooking for a bit. Have my rice there. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start with our salad. So for our salad, we're gonna start off cutting our cucumbers. If you already did that, that's totally fine. So I call it a chopped salad because you basically just chop your ingredients. There's really no science to it. It's super simple. It's super easy. The only thing you need to do is cut off the tips of our cucumber. So I asked for 2 small cucumbers in your recipe. I think it says 2 small cucumbers. And that's the exact amount that I need. Why? If you guys want to go ahead and add a couple more cucumber, it's fine. But you have a lot of stuff going on in that salad. So you don't want to overwhelm and overcrowd your salad with just cucumber. All right. So I'm going to cut my cucumber in half through the long way. So we have this. And then we're going to cut it into half moons. Go ahead and stir your fideo a little. Mine is turning golden. Woo. It smells so good, guys. It smells like my mom's house. I love it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my rice now. This is perfect. So my rice is sizzling because I had a little water in my bowl. It's totally fine. It will evaporate. Just give it a little mix. Fully incorporate it. And spread it across your whole pan so that it fully cooks evenly. So that everything is cooked evenly and we don't have burnt patches in our rice. All right, I'm going to turn down the heat to medium-low because we don't want to burn it.
We have some questions. So the first one, what is fideo? Fideo is like a vermicelli, a very thin vermicelli, right?
Yes, that's exactly what fideo is. So fideo is, we Mexicans mostly use it in soups, to eat it as a soup. It's like a chicken, tasty flavor. I don't really know how to explain it. It's a really thin pasta, really thin spaghetti. So it's really good. You can make it into a soup. You can put it into rice. You can even make tacos de fideo seco. And you can add some tomato paste. It has this amazing texture to it. And it's really good. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend you guys try a fideo soup. That's the original version of how I love to eat it. So I recommend you try that first. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add my 4 cups of chicken broth that I have over here. All right. Just gonna mix it a little. And we are going to leave this to boil covered. You need a pan that has a cover. It's very important to not mess around with your arroz while it's cooking. Because then it'll stick. It turns kind of mushy like sushi rice, and that's not a good texture for our arroz con fideo that we want right now. Just gonna turn on the heat a little back on again to medium high. Just let it boil. And after that, I'm just gonna close the lid and let it simmer for about 10 to 12 minutes. Give it a little fluff, cover up again, and leave it there for 20 minutes to rest. All right, so back to our cucumber. We're going back to our loaded Greek salad. We're gonna get our cucumbers and we're gonna cut our half moons. Just gonna add all of my vegetables into this bowl right here, just to make it a little easier when I mix in our vinaigrette. And after a cucumber, I'm gonna thinly slice half of a red onion. So another thing that I love to do with this salad, most of the time, I just chop my onion like weird pieces of chopped onion because I really do like strong flavors. But this time I thought it would be fun to maybe cut it into thin slices so that it won't be that overwhelming, but the flavor of a red onion is still there. So go ahead and do that. And if you guys are really big onion fans, I highly recommend you just go with the chopped red onion. Alrighty. So I'm gonna add this to my bowl. So throw that in there. Okie dokie. I'm starting to see little bubbles in my arroz con fideo. So that's what we want. We want it to boil, to go into a soft boil, and then we're gonna cover it and simmer. My oven already beeped that it's ready. It's to the temperature that I want it to be. So that's perfect. If your oven hasn't beeped yet, it's totally fine. It's good, we're good. You can keep cooking when the class is over. All right. Just gonna throw this in here. And I asked for cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, because again, this is a really easy chopped salad. So we're just gonna grab our little baby cherry tomatoes. And I'm just gonna cut it through the middle, so half. I'm just gonna get those in there. This is gonna add a ton of flavor and a ton of color to your chopped salad. So a lot of people add bell pepper to Greek or Mediterranean salads. I don't really like the flavor it adds to it. I think it's kind of overwhelming. So that's why we're omitting the bell pepper. But if you guys like bell peppers, you can totally add them. It'll add an extra crunch to it. That's good. All right. And for our olives, I do recommend you guys use Kalamata Olives because they have a specific Mediterranean flavor that we are looking for in this salad. So for example, if you're going to use green olives, it would not be the same flavor in the same spectrum of flavors that we're looking for all of this, for all of the things that we're cooking today in the class. It's not going to be bad. It's just not the same flavor and the same spectrum of flavor. Okay. My rice is boiling now, so I'm gonna go ahead. Just give it one more mix. Go. Cover this up and just bring down to a simmer. All right. Oh, forgot to salt this. Again, just a little pinch of salt. If you guys want to add a little garlic in this, it's totally fine. It tastes great. Cover this up, just leave it there for 10 to 12 minutes. If you guys have any questions, I can answer whatever you guys need. And I call this salad the loaded salad because you're adding, even though you're already eating salmon, your protein, I'm adding chickpeas because it adds a full depth to the bite. When you bite into that spoonful of salad, you'll feel how amazing the texture is and the flavor. It's just amazing. It's so good. I can't wait. I think I'm really excited about this salad. I think this is what's more exciting about all of this. Even though the arroz con fideo reminds me of my mama, I think this is what makes me more excited to eat.
It looks delicious.
It will be. And I've done this salad so many times throughout the years. then I think that's why it literally became my favorite salad. So when I was living by myself in Mexico City, this was one of my go-to meals because it was really easy to make. I always had cucumber inside of my fridge because they never go bad. So that was one of the vegetables that I always had and didn't know how to use. And I started doing these Mediterranean kind of dishes, and I just fell in love with the flavors and the textures and the color. Colorful food is medicine. I will never get tired of saying that. All right, so we have our tomatoes here. I'm just gonna throw them inside of the bowl. And here comes my favorite part, which is cheese. Feta cheese is one of my favorite cheeses. And I'm just adding a cup. You guys can go ahead and add 2. If I had more feta cheese, I would go all in. I'm not even kidding. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of mix this a little. Alrighty. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my chickpeas. So before you throw your chickpeas in, if you bought them store-bought can, drain them first because they have a lot of aquafaba, and the aquafaba is really good. You can use it for a lot of other recipes. So you can use it as an egg white substitute, for example. You can use it to make foams, for example. If you don't like using regular milk, if you're lactose intolerant, you can use aquafaba, which is the water inside of the can with the chickpeas. You can use that. But we don't want that right now because it'll make our salad a little sticky, and we don't want that. We want freshness in every bite. So we're just gonna drain these and wash them, rinse them and drain. And then we're gonna add them into our salad. Alrighty.
Today you did think of your helper. You're making a lot of salad.
I did.
So the recipe will feed your whole family probably in a dinner, right?
Yeah. So this is also what I love about this salad and these recipes. They make for big amounts, even if you're using a small amount of ingredients. They make big amounts because all of the ingredients that we're using are big in size. So for example, if my cucumber, I would have cut it a little thinner, it wouldn't have come out so big. So we're trying to get the sizes about the same so that they have kind of like this kind of recurrence to it. So my salmon is an inch big, an inch thick. I'm trying to make this an inch thick so that everything has kind of like a story and it goes all together. So they all click together. And plus, my cousin just got engaged, so we're having a dinner party tonight with his family and her family and my family. So this is gonna make for a great dinner.
Congratulations.
Right. Once we have all this mixed together, I'm just gonna give my vinaigrette a little mixy mix. Oh, we're forgetting one of the star ingredients of our salad, the Kalamata Olives. You can buy them already pitted and cut them into little slices, or you can just put them in whole. Oof. Woo. Olives. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our vinaigrette. I'm just gonna give it a little mixy mix. Just pour this in here. So most of the ingredients that we're using in this salad are already super juicy. You don't need a lot of dressing on your salad. The amount that I called for on the recipe is just enough. and it'll help your salad last longer without the vegetables turning soggy. So I think this is the perfect amount. I don't think I know it's a perfect amount. I don't want to go in and taste it. I will. We're going to see if it needs a little more seasoning, if it needs a little salt or pepper. No, doesn't need anything. All right, this is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get my transparent little bowl. So I'm going to put my salad. Thank you. So you see, it's super simple. It's super easy. And it's really fun to make. It's very colorful. Kids love it, to be honest. All of my nieces and nephews love this salad because of the colors, of course. Alrighty. Just gonna add a couple more. And I'm gonna add a little pepper.
Vanessa, would you need to chill your salad?
Sorry? Yes.
Would you need to chill it?
Yes. So when I walked over there with my salmon bag, we went to the fridge. We went over to the fridge and it's chilling in the fridge for 30 minutes. We don't want cross-contamination. We don't want bacteria to start growing on it because obviously you can get food poisoning and we don't want that. So yes, it's super important for you guys to always refrigerate your proteins when you're not using them in that moment.
They meant, I'm sorry, I might have not, the salad, not the salmon.
Oh, the salad.
Uh-huh.
No, you don't.
Thank you.
Of course. No, you don't need to chill it. This can go for hours. Like on a summer day, this will be perfect. It won't get soggy. That's one of the other reasons that I love this salad. So I can just pop this in the fridge as a leftover. If this is a leftover, I could just pop it in the fridge and it would be perfect for the next day. So I would just take that for lunch. Super simple, super easy. And then I just want to go ahead and kind of show you guys how I cut my lemon wedges. So they're not really lemon wedges. I cut them into small triangles, just like this. These will go inside of our salmon skewers with our salmon skewers. So the way I cut my lemon, you cut it in half. Then you cut it half moon. And then you just chop. There you go. Perfect little lemon wedges. These are the perfect size for our salmon skewers. All right, it's about 10 minutes. My rice is going great. Don't uncover your rice. What we're looking for in our rice, you will see little tiny holes forming while your rice is cooking. That's perfect. That's great. That calls for a perfectly cooked rice. It's amazing. I don't want to open it up right now. Gonna wait 1 more minute, fluff it, turn the heat down, and then cover it again. All right, for my skewers, I'm gonna use these metal skewers. If you guys have wooden skewers and you left them soaking in water for an hour, that's perfect too. I just found these and I thought it was simpler. Okay, I'm gonna go get my salmon. Oof. It smells amazing. I haven't even opened it and it's like coming out of the bag. I love it. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grab our skewer. We're gonna take a couple of pieces of our salmon. Just gonna go one by one. So the skin part, we're not gonna go through the skin. We're gonna go through the flesh, all right? So the skin is going to be on one side. We're gonna go through it. And we're gonna add our lemon wedge, our little lemon wedgies. Another salmon piece. I love leaving skin on salmon because one, it doesn't really dry out as much. That's one good reason. And the other reason is I love the crisp. This will be crispy and it'll be crunchy and it'll add another level of texture to it. So it's amazing. Oof. I can't wait to eat these. Don't worry if your lemon gets a little marinade. It's fine. It's even better, I think. Alrighty, so we have one. Listo. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete next one. Okay. I love it. So as you can tell, we're using a lot of different colors. And the end result of this is just so beautiful. I think that the love for food begins with the eye. So I really like to cook beautiful things. I think it makes them taste so much better. This is a big piece. This is mine. Okay. All right, before I finish this last skewer, I'm gonna fluff my rice real quick. I'm gonna turn the heat off completely. I'm gonna grab a fork and we're just gonna fluff it. Don't mix it around, don't kind of go in there and bat it, and don't. You just fluff it. So what does fluff mean? Fluff means you literally go like this with your fork. So you just kind of throw it in the air to get it a little airy. Look at that. Okay.
So do you do that for all your rices, like your Mexican rice and everything?
Yeah, and it comes out perfect. I'll show you a close-up when this is done. Okay, so I don't want the heat to escape. We're closing this up again, and we're gonna leave it closed for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you wanna leave it for 30 minutes, it's fine. The heat is off, okay? It's not turned on anymore. The only thing that we have in here is residual heat from our pan and from our rice. So it's gonna continue to cook. This is still a little wet, so it still has a little chicken broth in there, not at the bottom of the pan, just in between our fideo and our arroz. And this is just perfect. We're gonna leave it there. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this salmon skewer so we can get those inside of the oven.
Yes, and then I'm excited for next week. You're gonna make us una hamburguesa de camarón.
I know.
A shrimp hamburger. I've had it in Mexico and they're amazing. So I can't wait.
They are.
To learn how to make them.
They're really easy. They're super simple. You guys are gonna love that recipe. If you guys, and we're using an air fryer. If you guys don't have an air fryer, it's fine. You can totally do them in the oven. And you can even do them on the stove top. I'm just using my air fryer because I just got it. And I'm super excited. I literally, if I could sleep with it beside me, I would. They just don't let me. They just don't let me because they think I'm cray-cray.
It's amazing. I love mine.
I love it. Do you have an air fryer, Tere?
Yes, I got it last year. For I think for Mother's Day last year, and I absolutely like it. Chicken wings, late night French fries, and sweet potato fries. And then
I love it.
The funniest one is during Christmas, one of our chefs, Ernst, he put his tamal inside the air fryer. And I'm like, that's gonna taste weird, but I'm gonna try it. They taste so good. They're like crispy.
So good. is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing what you could do with it.
It's super crazy. You can make a lot of things. Okay, real quick, I'm just gonna grab a napkin. If you guys have a brush, an oil brush or a pastry brush, you can use your brush. I don't have one. If I do, I just don't want to look for it. So I'm gonna use a napkin. We're gonna dip it a little with olive oil. And this is what we're gonna use to coat our baking sheet, our sheet tray. I luckily bought from Amazon a couple of silk pads, which is silicone pads, which is just this. And it helps food not to stick to our tray. It's amazing. It's been a blessing since I bought these. It literally makes cleaning up so much easier.
I know.
Right?
I actually bought mine after Isabella started using her. So now I have some.
I love them. I love them. I'm a big fan, and I didn't use them either before. So when I made the discovery that they even existed, I was like, how is it possible that nothing sticks on there? Like, even if you burn something, it won't stick. It's amazing.
And they don't burn in their plastic.
Okay, just gonna place my skewers on my sheet tray.
Does it matter how you put the skin down or no?
No, not really, because we're gonna turn them when 5 to 6 minutes have passed. So everything's gonna get heated up, everything's gonna get cooked. So don't worry about where the skin is. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in the oven. And you guys gotta be really careful. Again, salmon is really easy to mess up. The only reason it's easy to mess up is because it dries up too fast. Other than that, there's no problem with salmon. So I really recommend you guys literally check the time when you put your skewers in there. So for example, right now it's 6:41. I'm gonna give it 5 to 6 minutes. And after that, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm not even gonna check it. Go ahead and give it a little flip. Leave it for 5 to 6 minutes again, and just take it out of the oven, because it will keep cooking. Just like our rice and its residual heat is gonna keep cooking in there. For salmon, it's the same. For chicken, it's the same. Meat is the same. So if you didn't know that, now you know.
And you could grill these too, right?
Sorry?
You could grill these too.
Yes. Yes. You can grill them. You can even make them on their stove top. I really like baking them because it just gives them just the right amount of crisp. And everything gets cooked evenly. So that's really easy. Plus, while you're baking that, you can maybe do salad, do a little sauce for your arroz con fideo, maybe make a dessert. Just gonna clean up here a little. And okay. Gonna wash this off because we don't want to cross-contaminate. Alrighty, and back. Okay, 6:42. Gonna check on my rice. Just want to kind of show you guys the texture of this beautiful thingy. You don't open your rice, just me, okay? Because I want to show you how beautiful it is. Look at that, and it even jiggles. I love it. This is perfect. This is cooked perfectly. I was gonna go ahead and just eat it, but it's super hot, so I won't. Just gonna taste it for seasoning. Okay. I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt. And right now, when it's resting, you guys can go ahead and add parsley, chopped parsley. You can add cilantro to add a little color to it. So this is the moment when you add your vegetables, any garnish that you wanna put inside of your rice and not kill off the flavor. Because sometimes when we cook vegetables inside of our rice or with our rice, they end up being a mush because you cook them with the water or with the broth. So it's not even crunchy anymore. It's not even flavorful. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little of our dill, of our fresh dill. And I'm gonna add a little chopped cilantro and chopped parsley, just to give it a little color. You guys don't have to do this. This is completely optional. I'm just gonna do it because this is what was left of my seasoning, of my marinade, sorry. And I have an extra lime, an extra lemon, sorry. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some lemon zest on this. All of our flavors are going to be amazing on this. You don't need that much, you just need a little.
Those are a lot of flavors.
It's so good. You guys are gonna love it. So everything that we're using in this flavor spectrum goes together perfectly. So don't be afraid to add your flavors. You're just using the same flavors, just in different dishes. Just gonna mix it a little and add a little salt to it, and it's done.
Wow.
So beautiful. Add some salt. And I'm gonna go check on my babies in the oven. Let's see. Okay, so they're just turning to a paler pink. So I'm gonna go ahead, open my oven up, give them a turn, and close quickly the oven back up again. So I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do because I don't really know if you guys can see me. If you're using metal skewers, be careful not to burn yourself. Okay.
As you're doing that, I'm going to invite our friends. So this Thursday, we have a vegetarian lasagna and salad with a Pinot drink that Nicole's going to be teaching us. And then next week, we welcome Vanessa back with her shrimp hamburger and spicy ketchup with French fries. Yeah. And then we have also on Thursday, we have Isabella back with a poblano and pistachio pasta and Mexican martini. So we have a couple really good recipes coming up this week and next week. So join us.
That sounds amazing. You said a poblano what?
Poblano pistachio pasta.
Oh my gosh, that sounds super bomb. I'm gonna be
a Mexican martini.
I hope Isabela invites me over so I can have some of that. All right. Can I get the blue bowl, please? Of course. All righty. So I actually, look at this beautiful plate, guys. I bought it in Northgate and I love it. I bought a couple of them. I fell in love. They're super pretty. Look at them. They're amazing. And it'll give a great contrast to my rice. Alrighty, my rice is done. I'm gonna go grab a little spoon. And add this to our bowl. Oof. This is so, so good. Okay, I will show you the bottom of my pan so that you believe me when I say that this is the most perfect way of cooking rice. It can't go wrong. It literally can't. No, it smells, oof, it smells amazing. I'm gonna add a little more lemon zest into this.
Wow.
I'm very excited. Vale here is very excited too.
I know, she's excited because you finally made enough for her. She's always poured
I
things.
know, I know. All right. So this is the bottom of my pan. Look at how perfect, guys. I promise, when I'm telling you this is the correct way, it's the correct way.
I just learned.
It's so easy and super simple, and you don't even have to think about it. It's just, you just leave it there. So a little more garnish, because we love colorful food. This looks amazing. Okay. I'm just gonna leave my salmon skewers a couple of more minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes, and then it'll be ready.
Can we get a close-up of your rice? I just want to.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Look at how delicious that looks, everybody.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
So you can see
Beautiful.
the colors, and I love the blue. It looks beautiful. So you can see the colors. You can see that I added a little fresh dill. I added some cilantro. I added parsley. The lemon zest just throws it all together. And here I kind of want to show you the color of my fideo. So you can see the color contrast of the rice with it. It makes it look even more beautiful. It's so good. You guys have no idea. If you are making this at home right now, I want to know how it looks like. And if you're doing this with me right now, or if you want to do it next to a closer date, I want you guys to tag me on Instagram. I'm on there as Blame It on the Kitchen. I don't know if you guys can see me good because I kind of moved the camera down. Okay, thank you. And I can't wait, guys. Kind of want to try everything just to make sure that our seasonings are all good. Perfect. I think oh no. No, this is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check on my salmon skewers. These are about to be done. Just let me clean up here a little. So if you make rice the way that I just showed you, please give me a shout out and tell me what you thought about it. I think it's a really cool, easy way to make rice. And you don't have to think about it that much. You can just leave it there rolling, simmering, and it'll cook perfectly. I don't know if there's any questions you guys want to ask, or if you guys even have any questions. Okay. Okay. With our marinade that we put in the side, we're gonna grab this and go ahead and go to your oven. Go to your oven. It's a little mixy again because it kind of separated a little. And go ahead and spread this on top for the last minute or two. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
So they have a question. Does it depend on the pan if the rice does not burn on the bottom of the pan, or is it just the way you did the recipe?
So the recipe is really basically foolproof. It doesn't really have to do anything with the pan. Just do make sure that you have a non-stick pan. Because sometimes when we use very old pans, our rice will stick to the bottom, even if we're doing all the right things. Why? Because it's already old and you don't have any more of that film that makes it not stick to your food. And actually that's very toxic, guys. So I recommend you guys get a good pan.
And also, what drink or wine would you recommend with?
Ooh, I got something for you. So we got our Corona hard seltzers. These are the most delicious, low calorie. I think it's even zero. Yes, I knew it. Okay. Less than 100 calorie drink. This is perfect because remember, we want to be refreshed. And my favorite one is the maracuya one. If you guys haven't tried it, you totally should. And what we're gonna do now is just add very quickly. I know we're almost out of time. Just gonna add a little of our marinade to our salmon. If you guys want to leave him in the oven for a couple more minutes, you can. I will go ahead and plate them. Remember that they keep cooking. The residual heat in our pan and inside of our protein is still cooking. So don't worry about that. All right. And here we go. Let me just grab my long wooden board. Plate real quick. And we're gonna be done though. Here. And this over here. This smells amazing, guys. You have no idea. There we go.
Wow, that looks like a delicious dinner.
It is. It will be. And I got to go ahead and put a couple more of these inside of the oven because we don't want my family to get mad. But here you go. Here you have it. Beautiful dinner. Quick, easy, course meal. Healthy. And I really hope you guys like it and enjoy it. And I'm just going to clean up here a little. And I want to kind of move this ring light over to here because I kind of want to show you the top view of it. Vale, could you help me out with that?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, I just need to make sure that I won't clean the shot.
Okay, here we go. Get closer to you guys. And look at these beautiful salmon skewers. Look at that. It's amazing. Wow. Let me show you how cooked it is, just so that you guys get an idea of what we're looking for. So see how it just falls apart really easily, and it's a really beautiful pink right there. I don't know if you can see it because of the light.
Oh,
a little bit.
It's beautiful. And we have our beautiful rice. Beautiful rice. Arroz with
beautiful colors, beautiful food. Awesome. Thank you so much for hosting us, Vanessa, today.
Of course.
And I can't wait to try all this food. And then that seltzer sounds delicious too. Thank you. See you next week. And everybody have an awesome day. And the recipe will be emailed to you tomorrow. So enjoy. And if you do it, don't forget to tag us, my friend Natalie, on Blame It on the Kitchen.
Yes,
right?
you got it.
Okay, bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.